So this series, what I want to do is give you a little bit of background about me over time, about what I went through as far as dealing with depression, attempting to come out of it, failing at that, and then also surviving a severe suicide attempt. I was diagnosed with OCD, anxiety, major depression with suicidality, probably some other stuff, but that sounds enough to deal with for right now. And basically, over that time period, before everything happened and after, I had to deal with a lot of self reflection, a lot of self improvement attempts, a lot of, uh, a lot of, just recalibrating. So over that time period, I gained how to sort of adjust my perception of the outside world and myself. And so a few of those tips I learned along the way that have stuck with me, I've tried to help other people with if they've come to me. And hopefully this series can reach out to somebody. So very specifically today, what I want to talk about is something I sort of coined, or maybe I didn't coin it, but something I worked on myself was called being positively selfish. Positively selfish. Not selfish just for the sake of I'm doing this because I feel like it or whatever it may be. What I had to learn was it is okay to serve your personal needs in certain cases and in many cases. Personal needs may also align with family needs. They may align with you needing your own special time for your family, your personal life, your work goals, all of those things. But being positively selfish over time will allow you to find out and carve out what's right for your life. What I was doing during my extended period of depression, when I wasn't even aware of what I was dealing with or and how it was affecting my personal life. I was working in an industry that I probably was that I probably outgrew personally for a certain period of time, but I was doing a lot of things to maintain it. I was in a relationship that was great at the time. I was engaged, but we weren't growing together and we were actually growing apart, and I wasn't addressing it, but I was serving the need of trying to maintain that perception. And a lot of the things that I did after that is what I struggled with before. I didn't want to quit my career. I didn't want to let my business partners down who I own businesses with. I didn't want to come to my fiance and tell her this was going on. I didn't want to tell my family my businesses weren't what they perceived them as, because I felt like I was letting them down. I was serving a different character that I created on some level. But what I did after the fact was find out the things that I needed to do in my personal life, as far as what did I want for my daughter, and what did I want for myself, what did I want for my personal life, how did I want my friends to perceive me as me, family, all that. And so what I did was focus on being honest with myself, which in turn allowed me to be honest with my friends, my family, going forward, my child. So that once you know those things, you can then set the parameters for what you can allow in your life, and you can be positively selfish. I don't allow nonsense. I don't allow petty arguments. Petty arguments I'm cool with. I don't allow nonsense arguments that can affect my day-to-day life. I don't get into squabbles with coworkers. I make sure I make time for my friends. I don't really shortchange that. I do the same thing for when I'm with my daughter, who I make dedicated time for, to make sure that I'm only dealing with her and seeing her, and I'm not distracted by my phone, TV, none of that. I want to be able to be with her and be present. Same thing for when I'm not so okay, when I am frustrated with work or family or friends or money or whatever it may be. I don't hide that, but two, I don't try and disguise it necessarily. I'll let my friends know. I'll let my partner know. I'll tell my girlfriend, hey, no, we cannot do this right now, and these are the reasons. I cannot go down this path, et cetera, et cetera. What that does is it allows me to set my mind in a proper place that says, I want to be able to deal with these problems. I want to be able to focus on this, but I also want to be selfish for what's positive for my mindset, my day-to-day goals, my midterm goals, and my long-term goals. So what that allowed me to do over this past year and a half or so was basically strip my whole life apart from the ground up and then rebuild it piece by piece. And then over time, roughly over a year, I was able to, really build a lot of those same pillars back that I was mimicking before, and now they're not a mimicked piece. I have the profession that I'm comfortable with for the time being, but I don't use that as a representation of me as a whole. I like my job currently. I like to grow in it. I enjoy it. But if I don't, I won't feel the need to use that as a representation of me anymore. Same thing with in my personal life. When I have disagreements with my friends, I'm not necessarily as just carrying this weight of animosity that I was carrying with myself that made it hard for me to be a good friend. So I'll do my best to expand on that a little bit later. But what I hope to get across in this piece would be to understand it's okay to be positively selfish in some cases. You can't only serve others. You can't only serve family's wishes. You can't only serve your jobs, your kids, your lovers. You can't even be so self-serving to your own ego. You have to learn to be honest with yourself, be okay with that, and start to build the process that way.